Welcome back to Mark Oliver's the vlog, everyone. Thanks for joining in. As you can see, we've got this massive blustery winter. We're looking at hitting another cold snap. We really haven't had much reprieve. It's been, we got up to probably about -8 there yesterday. Today, there looks like the whole week ahead of us again. Overnight temps of about -37 degrees Celsius. Right now, it's about -26 Celsius. Yeah, it's quite cold. But today's a bigger thing. And first of all, I want to welcome each and every one of you back to the new year 2022. We have some great new content. And let's start out with a bang. Why? Because right here we have the X5. Now, we've had some recent problems here, and because it's been so cold, quite frankly, I don't feel like working. I have no problems wrenching on this thing. But could this be the very end for the X5? All of a sudden, we went to start it. Rattle, clink, made some funny noises, died, wouldn't reboot. So after trying to charge the car for about 2 days, it wouldn't take, nothing changed. Now maybe it is a dead battery, I don't know. But I also noticed a big puddle of something underneath the vehicle. Again, it's been way too cold to even try to experiment. But right now we're sitting roadside waiting for BMW roadside assistance to show up and take this thing away. Drag it off to the dealer, because again, when it's 30, 35 below zero, I don't quite frankly feel like working on it outside. But with that said, the tow truck should be here any minute, so let's take a look. Here's what it looks like, because it's in that front corner, and that's the only thing up there, so that's my guess.
Okay, well, it won't try and get us going if you know it's
Yeah, if it weren't for the leak, I'd say whatever, right? But there we go. There goes the old X5, E70 X5. What a tragic day. Unfortunately, I never thought I'd see this day. So you'd never believe it. I actually asked the tow truck driver what are the most common vehicles that they find themselves towing. You'd never believe it. Anybody? Any guesses? That's right. Kias, Hyundais, and he also said GMs were high on the list as well as Fords. He specifically singled out the Ford Escape, the new models specifically, and he also mentioned a lot of domestics in general. And he said the Toyotas and Hondas, rarely do they ever break, and when they do, they're only being towed because they're out of gas, dead battery, or alternator. Nothing major. He never sees anything major on those types of brands. That's what he's telling me. So of course, now we have the Mercedes. Things are getting late and it's time to give this thing a clean. I don't want to use a brush on the paint, so we're going to use this magical tool. Check it out. Right there, I use a steel, right there, BR500. These are absolutely great. This way you don't have to touch anything on the bodywork of your car and you're able to blow it down. Here, let's try it out. I think you'll like it. And so cleaning snow on these vehicles is pretty much has been the theme in the last few weeks. Now, I know it's a little quiet on the vlog here lately, partially because we've been literally socked in some seriously cold weather. And when I say cold, I mean we're pretty much, highs of -25, -30, lows of 35 to -40 degrees, all Celsius. Absolutely has been tremendously cold. So as you can see, we've also had a lot of snow. You'll notice snow piles everywhere. As you can see, there's hardly enough room to put this snow anymore because we've just had so much snow right here. As you can tell, So we did spend some time out at the acreage there last week during sort of the New Year's Christmas break. Spent some time out at the ranch, which you guys are all aware of that. If you're following the channel, then you'll know. You've seen that before, and we'll definitely feature the acreage again sometime soon. But we basically spend a pile of time moving snow out there because that's kind of been the theme. And that's just as well because the car industry has been really silly here lately anyway. So I'm not sure where it's like where you guys are all from, but I know around here, once winter hits, and you can clearly see winters here, the car industry as a whole kind of slows right down to a crawl. Now, you would think this is the best time to buy a car, and a lot of people say this is the best time since I've been shopping for a new, probably some kind of exotic sports car, but the reality is everybody else feels the same way, and they just sock their cars away. So nobody's giving their cars away, especially in this industry, in this market right now, where things have been as crazy and nutsy as they've been. Nobody wants to give their cars away. So shopping for supercars in the wintertime isn't great. Even if you do find something, you can't really go for a test drive. It's just not in the cards. So it has been a little slow on the shopping front. But with that said, I do continually browse the classifieds. I'm always on the prowl. Because yes, there is still a strong search for the right car. Now I've been looking for a barrage of different vehicles, and let's go for a quick look. I found a car, one of which is one that I've been really closely looking at. And you all know I've been contemplating, McLarens, Lamborghinis, Ferraris. What does that next car look like? Well, let's go take a look and have a quick walk around one of my high potentials. It's actually probably number 1 or 2 on my list. And the one I'm about to show you is one that's truly always hit the radar because of its unique styling. You don't see them everywhere, and quite frankly, they're one of the best performing cars in the supercar realm without going up to $1 million. These truly are amazing. So let's take a drive and go take a look. And there it is, the wonderful McLaren 720S hitting way above its weight class. Look at those Skeletor headlights. I love that. And the sculpted lines of this thing, it looks so futuristic. That's definitely one of those cars that attracted my attention. First time I saw it was down in the States, and I was absolutely mesmerized. Look at the back finishing of that. Has a very P1 look to it. You've got the rear mounted exhaust tips, beautiful. Down below you have exposed engine parts, wonderful looking car. In some specs you can get carbon fiber all over the back end of these vehicles. Now this one here, you'll notice it has a cheap carbon fiber wrap on the wing as well as on the side. That's aftermarket. But some of these cars you can actually get outfitted like that. Look at the hips on that thing. Again, 4-liter twin-turbo V8, makes 710 horsepower. Absolutely stunning car. Gorgeous lines. Gotta love the looks of that. There's the Skeletor headlights. Again, 0 to 60, 2.8 seconds. There's nothing else like this car on the planet. I love these cars, but they are pricey to maintain. So I'd love to hear in the comment section below, what do you guys think about that particular choice in cars? Again, that's one high on my list. But with that said, I know I've heard some really odd things about those McLaren 720s. For example, unexpected maintenance costs. I heard about the 12C, so one of the original comebacks for McLaren, and watching the channel by Rob Ferretti, you can really get a taste of what it's like to own some of these supercars. And it's absolutely ridiculous to hear some of the costs that you can find yourself faced with. For example, a battery. You need to change a battery, you're talking about $3,000 US for a new battery for these McLarens. And Rob also pointed out about the cost of a steering rack. So one of the 12Cs blew a steering rack, it started getting a little rough, and then it cost a whole shit ton of money because only the dealer can support a lot of that. See, when you drive a Lamborghini, there's a lot of these smaller shops, these little independent shops that are able to service a lot of Lamborghinis. And while a Lamborghini's never going to be accused of being cheap, on one hand, on the other hand, the service network is far better on a Lamborghini than it is on any McLaren. Even Ferrari is better serviced than a McLaren. So that's the outlier. And so from a value proposition and performance, the McLaren 720 is unbeatable, absolutely unbeatable. But with that said, for long-term ownership, they can absolutely be a heartbreaker. So that's why I'm really treading carefully with the 720. I love the looks of them, I love the performance, and I love the fact that you can go cruising with your buddies who have maybe 800, 900 horsepower cars and you can still take them down. They are ferociously quick. Not that you would, but when you take the car out to the track, you know that car can lay down the numbers. That's what's especially impressive about it. Now that's kind of the ridiculous part is what I'm finding with these 720s, I don't know what it is. Just before, what I found is you're starting to see the 2018s, they were down to about $280,000 Canadian. Then all of a sudden, the market started doing this ridiculous surging, and now all of a sudden to get that same 2018 but it's 2 years older. Now you're in that 305, 310, 320 range for that same car, and now probably with more miles and 2 years older. So the market's getting absolutely ridiculous. Now I will say cars like the Aventador haven't seen the same rise. Those seem to be holding their own. Gallardos, immense value. If you want to get into a Gallardo, this is the time to do it because there's no question it's inevitable. They've got to be going up in value. But I just had a Gallardo. I don't really want to go there again unless it was maybe a special edition or maybe a Superleggera or something. But anyway, the reason I'm talking about this, we're really on the prowl again for cars, is because we've turned the calendar page. Once we hit that next new year, now you can actually see the days getting longer, the weather's going to slowly start getting better, and cars are going to start hitting the market. People are anticipating selling their cars in the spring, so I've got the eyes wide open to try to buy that next car. Drop a line, everyone. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. I mean, clearly, what is the best time of year to buy a supercar? I mean, in the wintertime, I don't know. Maybe in California it's different. Maybe in Florida it's different. Definitely anywhere north of Utah, you're definitely going to be facing wintertime conditions like this. Is that the best time to be shopping for your car, in the wintertime? Or is it in the spring when they all hit the market, but everybody's asking top dollar? Or is it maybe in the fall? I was looking in the fall and I really thought I was going to get some great deals. I was watching, that August, September, October. Trust me, cars came and went as fast as they could. The 720s are a really hot topic this year. I don't know what it is, but people are snatching them up like they're going out of style. Drop a line, everyone. I'd love to hear your idea when the best time of the year is to actually buy your next supercar or sports car. I'd love to hear it because maybe that'll help drive me into how I shop or approach the shopping of my next car. Well, with all of that said, it's been great catching up with you guys again. Hope to talk to you real soon. Catch you then. Bye-bye.